I was I was like, am I not like having enough nutrients or something like for my baby? Like I'm losing a lot. Um, am I gonna be okay to deliver my baby? What's up, YouTube family? It's Sadavia here, back with another video. This video, I'm gonna be talking about my labor and delivery. It all started August 11th on a Sunday, 3 a.m. right here in this room. But okay, first of all, my notes are right here, so that's all I'm gonna be looking down. But yeah, so started at 3 a.m. on that Sunday. I started having contractions, so I ran into my mom's room, and I was telling her I'm having contractions. So we were timing them, but they weren't inconsistent and not as painful, I guess. Like on a scale 1 to 10, they were probably like a 4. I'll say my pain tolerance is high, so I'll say like a 4. But yeah, so we were timing throughout the night around like 5 o'clock that night. Well, that morning it's 5 a.m. I went back to sleep. Well, I tried to go back to sleep off my contractions or whatever. But they obviously kept going. So all day Sunday, I was going through my contractions and just timing them. We end up having a family friend come over from Dubai. Haven't seen him in like a couple years, like, so that was crazy. So I'm like going through contractions and trying to be happy at the same time because I haven't seen my friend in a long time. But so he witnessed a lot that day. He was really scared. But and then we end up going for a walk, like the whole family. We all went walking just to see if I could just walk the baby down. Maybe I'd go on Labor Day night, you know. But no, it didn't happen. But we went for a walk, and then I was in so much pain, but like it wasn't too bad. Like, of course, in the heat of the moment, you think this is like so terrible or whatever. But honestly, like that's the least painful it was. The first step of labor was not that painful. After the walk, I went to my room and tried to sleep off more pain, pretty much. Around 9 o'clock p.m., we went to the hospital, and they checked me. They said I didn't dilate any, so they ended up sending me back home. So when I got home, I was gonna try to eat dinner, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. So I ended up going to sleep and sleeping it off. Well, trying to sleep off my contractions. So throughout the night, of course, I'm having these contractions. My mom ended up staying with me, like in my room, and timing them with me because I couldn't do it myself. So it's the next day, August 12th, that Monday. We end up leaving the house around 7 a.m. to go to the hospital because my mom had been logging my contractions the whole time. I had been puking a lot, like all that morning. I had just been puking. Like every contraction I had, I puked. They kept getting more frequent And you know how the hospital, they'll be like, don't come to the hospital until your contractions are 5 minutes apart, pretty much. So for an hour to 2 hours consistently. So my mom waited until I was 4 hours with consistent 5 minute contractions to go to the hospital, just so they wouldn't send me home. When I got weighed, when we went to the hospital, I had lost 5 pounds in a night. Like, I had got weighed the night before when we went to the hospital. I don't remember my weight, but I remember I had lost 5 pounds. So that was really like scary to me, because I was like, am I not like having enough nutrients or something like for my baby? Like, I'm losing a lot. Am I gonna be okay to deliver my baby? When we got to the hospital, they checked me. I was only 2 centimeters dilated. So we waited an hour, and then another doctor came in to check me, and then I was 4. So they were trying to figure out whether I should go back home or if I should stay. And I was like, I'm 4 centimeters. If you don't keep me at this hospital, like. So anyways, my new nurse that had just checked me, she was like, no, she needs to be admitted, go up to the labor and delivery room. I'll say like, it was like 15 minutes later, I get wheeled up to the labor and delivery room. And when I get there, it's only one nurse in there with me and my mom. My mom was with me the whole time. Like, thank God she was with me the whole time, because I don't know what I would do, because I was going through back labor. So that's different from just regular labor. Like, my contractions were in my back, my lower back, not the front. So, I mean, you could still feel it in the front, but it was more intense in the back. So she would massage my back every time I would have a contraction. But yeah, so it was one nurse in there, my mom and me. And the nurse kept asking me like different questions and stuff. And then I'm still going through my contractions, and my mom is just there helping me get through them. So the nurse ended up asking me if I wanted an epidural. She kept asking me that. And so I was like, yes, like, let me get an epidural. Let me get one. And she just kept, she took her time getting an epidural for me. So, and she didn't check me. She didn't check me to see if I had dilated anymore. So I told her, I was like, I feel some drips or something. Like, it's a little drip. And she's like, oh, you might have peed on yourself. And I'm just like, bruh, I'm going through contractions. I'm in the labor and delivery room. You don't think my water broke or something? Like, you're not going to check nothing? So she ended up leaving out the room to go get the epidural. And as soon as she left, I told my mom, I was like, I have to push. I have the urge to push. My mom freaked out, like panicked. She ran out the room looking for nurses, ran back in the room, and saw a head. She saw a head, pushed the nurse button. She's like, she got the urge to push. She got the urge to push. She almost delivered my baby, y'all. But a whole bunch of nurses came in, and the doctors or whatever, and was like, I was in a daze. I don't remember everything. Like, my mom had to tell me the story for me to know what happened, because I'm just not there all the way. All I remember is the nurse was like, well, her head's already out, just do one more push. And I was like, what? So let's see what happened. I ended up only pushing like 2 or 3 times, because the first time I pushed, my water had like gushed out pretty much, and then like my second push, she was out. So I don't, if I pushed a third time, it was to get the rest of her out, but I think she was already out. But yeah, they was not expecting my baby to just come out, you know. By this time, she came, her birth time was 10:35 a.m. So I went from 4 centimeters to 10 centimeters like in an hour, because remember, we had got to the hospital around like 7-ish. So it did not take that long. That was my labor and delivery story. It was really crazy because my mom really almost delivered my baby like this close to delivering my baby. But it wasn't all that bad, honestly. Like, people, I thought it was gonna be worse. Like, the movies make it seem like it was gonna be dramatic. To me, it wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, my pain tolerance is high, but it wasn't bad to me. It wasn't too painful. Like, it was manageable. I got through it, obviously. So that was my labor and delivery story. Thank you all for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.